Do a talk on Elijah 3,000 years ago. I'll set it up. For those of you guys who are new, I'm sure glad to have you, and we love you. And for all the guys joining us online, thank you. It's a great honor. For every man in the room, there's 1,000 online. And that's amazing what God is doing. And it just shows you the need in our day. The need in our day is that men need to be built up in a world that beats them down. And we like to say we build men up to bless women and children. Amen? We're those guys. We happen to also be the Bible guys. And so I'm going to tell you a little bit of a story. It goes about 3,000 years ago in 1 Kings 16 through 2 Kings 2. And there are three primary characters therein. There is a horrible, evil, demonic king named Ahab. We're going to talk about him. He's got a nasty wife who's hot as hell, literally. Her name is Jezebel. And then there's a dude named Elijah who is the man of God. And nothing changes until the man of God shows up. You need to know that the Bible doesn't just tell us what used to happen, but what always happens. Nothing changes till a man of God shows up. And so the hope, prayer, and goal for all of us is that we would be the man of God, and that wherever God sends you, that you would be the agent of change, and that things would change because the man of God showed up. The problem in their situation 3,000 years ago was something that is called syncretism. Syncretism simply means taking what is godly and then combining or commingling it with that which is ungodly. They had these demon gods in their day, and these demons are still at work today. It's new days, old demons. But it was Baal. He was the masculine god, the chief Canaanite deity of prosperity and success and fame and power, what every man shoots for. And then his consort and cohort was a demon named Asherah, which is a seductive, beautiful, sensual, pleasurable, highly controlling, manipulative woman. And these are Black Widow kind of gals, and they still are everywhere. And what happens is that this demonic syncretism in the unseen realm, it comes into the seen realm and it enters into the nation. And what happens as a result is that people who say that they know God, they start tolerating and welcoming and celebrating things that are against God. And the result is that the nation becomes more and more corrupt, and the leadership becomes more and more ungodly, and each generation becomes more deadly and dastardly and demonic. And what happened in their day is happening in our day. Complete cultural compromise. What was considered absolutely unconscionable when I was a little boy is now celebrated publicly. To think that we've reached the day where the sexualization and mutilation of children, the rampant transgenderism, the gender dysphoria and confusion, the absolute corruption and perversion, and if any man who is heterosexual and believes in God says, hey, I disagree, then he is automatically canceled and he is considered to be the problem and not the solution. That was the exact day in which they lived. So I want to look at these three people as sort of case study, Ahab, Jezebel, and Elijah. And there are three different aspects to this. Number one, some people are possessed. And they're possessed with the Ahab spirit. I won't get into all of this, but Ahab had a demonic power that was generational from his family. Some people have possession. Jezebel was literally a woman possessed by a demonic spirit. Some people don't just have possession, they have oppression. It's not in them, but it's on them. Some of you men have felt this. You're dealing with someone who's so dark and so evil that you get disoriented. You feel dysregulated. You don't feel like yourself. You feel like an oppression has come over you. Your brain can't think. Maybe you have anxiety. You just need to flee. You're not sure what to do. Well, Elijah, the man of God, when he came in the presence of these two demonically empowered people, Ahab and Jezebel, he was so overwhelmed and overcome, not with possession, it controlled him, but with oppression, it came on him. That Elijah ran, literally, miles into the woods and had to take over a month off just to recover. Some of you right now, I feel inclined in the spirit to say this, what you're struggling with is not depression, but oppression. It's not in you, but it's on you. Someone is evil. They've put something on you that is dark and demonic and deadly, and you're carrying it. For some of you, it feels like discouragement or despair. It feels like rejection or an orphan spirit, but it's oppression. And then the third level of influence wouldn't be possession, where they sort of weld their personality with yours to where you're the same. And it's not oppression, but it is tendencies and personalities. Some of us, we're not demon possessed and we're not oppressed, but we have personalities and tendencies that if we're not aware of them, we become either like Ahab or like Jezebel and not like Elijah. I'll tell you what I mean by this in a moment. We all start, and every man starts as either more Ahab or more Jezebel. So you've got to ask yourself, and I'll get into this in just a moment, which one would be your proclivity, your tendency?